Just like Colourpop's release schedule, I am yet another influencer showing up on the scene. Let's get to it. As mentioned before, Colourpop released another collection. The collection is called the Limocello collection. It's right here. It's the packaging. It's based on, I'm pretty sure they're going for like an Italian countryside thing. If I'm wrong, let me know, but that's what my art sensibilities are telling me. It is a 12-pan palette. Typical cardboard packaging that they roll with. Here is the colors. So it is a fairly fair amount of neutrals with a couple pops of color. Colourpop. Today I'm going to be reviewing the palette, 3 of the shadow sticks, and then 1 of the blush sticks in the shade, what shade is this? Picnic Time? Okay. Here, okay, let's start with this. I'm going to take the shade Amalfi, right in the center, that kind of, you know, matte yellow color, and I'm going to run that through my crease. Next, I'm going to take the shadow stick. This is in the shade, I believe it was Cool Breeze. It's the matte kind of ocean navy blue shade that they have in the palette. Not the palette, but the, you know, the sticks. I'm going to put that all over the lid. I'm not going to worry too much about how clean the line is right now, because I am going to smoke everything out with the blue that is in the palette. Wow, edgy. So far, I'm not really sure how I feel about these. The texture is just a tiny bit dry, so it does drag on your eye a little bit. I will leave a couple links of shadow sticks down below that kind of perform a little bit better. And then I'm going to take this brush and then make everything all even smooth, you know. Okay, yeah, so if you can see, they really don't blend out too well. The formula is really dry and kind of waxy almost. And they smell kind of bad too, if I'm being honest.
1 hour later.
Okay, so I did cut away a little bit just to try to see if I could recover that blue shade, but it is the shadow sticks are very dry and they do catch on your eye and they don't really blend out that well. If you can see in the crease, it got really jagged, and I tried to repeatedly buff the blue shade, also known as La Festa, into the crease and up into the brow bone, just to try to give it an even enough blend as possible, just to make it look kind of seamless as possible, but it didn't really come out that great. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to take the shade Vespa, which is the it's kind of like deep chocolate brown shade, and I'm going to run it along my lash line, and I'm going to bring it pretty low, kind of almost accentuating my eye bags, and yeah, let's get to it. Now you can see I look good and tired. That's what I'm going for. The matte shades in this palette are a little bit dusty, but that's kind of typical for Colourpop formulations. Nothing too unreasonable, so just, you know, do a little tap, do a little blow off your palette, and yeah, everything will be good to go. To further smoke out the bottom part of my eyes, I'm going to take the shade, let's do Lemon Squeezy, and I'm going to use that to blend out and bring the tired eye bag look down a little bit further into the eye. I'm also bringing that shade up a little bit into the upper crease and near the brow bone, just to bring the color harmonies into the full socket. I'm now going to be taking the shade Touring, which is the kind of like champagne shimmer shade. I'm going to apply that into the center of the lid just to give it some brightness. Also, I'd mention that the weird smell isn't actually those shadow sticks. There is a plastic cover layer on the palette, and it smells kind of like pleather. I don't know if that's what they're going for, but that's what's going on. One more time, I'm going to be taking the La Festa shade, and then I'm going to be deepening the blue and cleaning up the center halo of the shimmer shade. Now I'm going to be taking the Citrus Squeeze Shadow Stick, this one right here, and I'm going to run it along the lower lash line just to give a little bit more brightness and dimension into the deepened eye bag part. Ooh, it is very, very pigmented, very smooth formula, glides on really beautifully. Definitely would recommend these ones over the matte shades already because there's like no pull, really beautiful formula. Okay, I'm now going to be taking the shade Cool Breeze in the Shadow Sticks. Citrus Squeeze was more of a goldenrod color, and then this one is going to be more of a true gold shade, but it does have a little bit of a green tone to it, so it makes it more look like funky futuristic alien, very kind of an interesting shade. And I'm going to apply this to the inner corners of my eyes just to bring some light to there and connect the top highlight and then the smudged out goldenrod at the, you know, the thing, you'll figure it out. And it is very pigmented, it applies very opaque. Yeah, in terms of the shadow sticks, I definitely would recommend the metallics. They are a much smoother formula, a lot creamier. I feel like they're going to wear a lot better just because they didn't have a lot of pull, but they didn't feel too wet and creamy either. Excuse the word wet.
That's cringe.
I'm now going to take a smaller, denser brush. I believe this is a smudge brush from Elf. I don't remember though. I am going to use it to blend out the inner corner, the gold shade, just to make everything a little bit more seamless. Just to take the inner corner highlight just a little bit further, I'm going to take the shade Serenade. It is the gold shimmer shade right there next to that green shade. And I'm going to really just focus it on the inner corner of the eye just to bring more light back into that one, just because of the color story that we're working with right now, very dark, very smoky, so that's going to be a good contrast for the rest of the look. And it does look like there's a little bit of a green shift in that Serenade color, which actually does look really cool with the rest of the like the blue and the green and the yellow. It really does fit in well with the whole Limoncello color story. It looks very Italian countryside, very dark, very edgy. Not the color story itself, but I'm saying me, I guess. Okay, and I say that should be the completed eye look. It's very much kind of like, you know, editorial Pat McGrath, you know, Fashion Runway, Vivienne Westwood. Also kind of swamp creature that lives in an Italian countryside, and or a sewer creature terrorizing the streets of Milan, maybe, you know. The next product I'm going to be trying is the blush sticks in the shade Picnic Time. I believe it was a peachy coral pink color with gold pinpoints. That's how they described it. I believe this is supposed to be similar to, like, you know how every brand has like a NARS Orgasm color dupe? I believe that this is what this color is supposed to be. I'm going to apply it directly onto my cheeks and then just blend it out with like a brush. Okay, so actually, given how pigmented that color is, I am going to take a denser brush. This is a Real Techniques foundation brush, and then I'm going to use that just like really buff in the product into my face just to make it look, you know, more natural and seamless and go with the look. And it does blend out really well. It is a very smooth formula. It gives your skin a very healthy, you know, flush of color. I mean, if you could tell with this ring light, I definitely would recommend this. It is a very beautiful shade, and it does look really good for, you know, my skin tone's fairly light, so I think it would work really good if you're my skin tone, maybe just a tad bit deeper. I'm feeling adventurous, so let's just put on just a little bit more. Oh, let's drop a palette. And then I'm going to put some on the temples too, just to be daring. And now we have a nice flush of color and doing the blush, whole blush contour thing that everyone's doing now. And just like that, we have a flush of color in the cheeks with that blush stick. And then just as a little finishing touch, Colourpop also launched a mini Glisten Up illuminating mist. Not Colourpop directly, but Fourth Ray, so we'll just say it's Colourpop. So I'm going to use this to finish off the look, add some luminance back into my skin, and we will wrap up the video. So initial thoughts on the Limoncello collection by Colourpop. The palette itself, I definitely would recommend it. It's a very interesting color story. It's something that you can work with a lot. There is, you know, like a lot of their other palettes, there does look to be a lot of neutrals, but they are neutrals that have just a little bit of something interesting in them that just gives everything just a little bit more oomph, and it works with the shimmer shades and then that bright blue matte shade in the bottom. I definitely would recommend giving it a try because, you know, this eye look is very cool, very edgy, and you could do something surprisingly like super easy, simple, just kind of like throw that lemon squeezy shade in your crease and then add just a shimmer onto your lid. Make something really simple. The blush stick, this is honestly my first time using one of these that I liked. I typically don't wear a lot of like matte cream blushes, so I stay away from theirs. This one does have a fair bit of, it does look a little matte, but there does seem to be like a satin finish in there, so it does give a little bit more life into your skin. So I definitely would recommend it. Plus the packaging is actually really, really fun. It has like that, you know, that old kind of like stereotypical Italian countryside style, and like I really do kind of vibe with that a lot. With the shadow sticks, I would definitely recommend the metallics. These are a much better formula. They're much smoother. They glide on the eye really easily. They blend out really well, and they don't dry down like the matte shade does. This does dry down really quick. It's really difficult to blend, and quite frankly, this actually does have that weird smell. Yeah, it smells like a crayon mixed with burning plastic. Okay, and I realized I didn't have anything on my lips and they started to feel really dry and kind of gross. So I did take the Luxe lip oil. This is in the shade Hot Shot. This was sold at Ulta Beauty with the Going Coconuts collection when that was repackaged and repurposed. So that's on the lips currently. And finally, the last thing that I picked up was the Mini Glisten Up Mist. The regular size Glisten Up Mist it's been in my skincare routine for a while. Even if I'm just like going outside with like no makeup on, I just spray that on my face just to give myself a little bit of like extra glow in the skin, and you know, it just makes me feel just a little bit better, just because like it has that very beautiful citrus scent. It has very micro shimmers in it. It's not going to look glittery or, you know, kind of like gross on your skin, and genuinely just the tone is just perfect. It just gives you just a little bit more life. As you can see right now, my skin does have that luminosity that it was missing in the beginning. So final thoughts, definitely I would recommend picking up the palette. It is a very interesting color palette. Very good addition to your collection of Colourpop products. The metallic shades definitely, and the shadow sticks, definitely do those. And then the Glimmer Mist, yeah, definitely I would recommend it. Thanks for watching. You know, like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you need to do to make YouTube make me think people like me. Yeah, thanks. Bye.